All right, Motorsport Manager. So we are still doing the Underdog Challenge, where we started with the absolute bottom-most, lowest-ranked team in the entire thing, in the lowest league and everything like that, and our goal is to make it to the tops of the tops. We have now entered the second, the middle league, and even though this is our first year in the league, we've been doing shockingly well. I don't know how or why, but it's going pretty okay. We are heading into race 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, so we've done 5, so this is race number 6. Yeah, 6 of 11, that makes sense. So we're halfway. We've done 5. After this race, we're going to have to do 5 more. This is just the oddball out. So this is the midway. When we're halfway through this race, we're halfway through the season. And our only goal was not to come in last so we wouldn't get relegated. And here we are in the team standings, tied for 2nd overall. Tied for 2nd overall in team standing, and we have a driver 3rd place in the driver championship. The problem is Thornton Motorsports here has been doing really well, so they've got the driver in 1st place and 4th place, so together they're doing really well. Whiskey and Chocolate from Lingonberry Clown. Hey Lingonberry. Oh yeah, your bunny. So update on my bunny. Went to the vet to do an x-ray, and the next she went through surgery, which failed. Oh no. So now we need to go to the vet one more time for a total of $1,100. Anyway, here's some money. Dude, man, I'm so sorry. I hope your rabbit's okay. You know, we really do get quite close with all of our pets. And, you know, animals are people, is the way it is. So, anyway, I hope everything works out all right. Is this year 1 with Predator? No, this is our 5th season. It's our 1st year in the Asia Pacific Super Cup. For the first 2 or 3 seasons, really the first 3 seasons in the bottom-most league, the European Racing League, we really just focused purely on building money and building up our headquarters, rather than you know, developing a lot of things. We really weren't working to compete for points the first few years. We were just trying to get a head start on sort of our finances and infrastructure, which I think has paid off pretty well. Because even here in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, our headquarters are at the top. Our sponsorships are great. We're still a little brought down by the fact that Morrison, despite the fact that he's our better driver, really does not have much in the way of marketability. Again, he's only got this much marketability because he's got a plus 20 here as a result of him winning the ERS. So he's naturally at a 19%, which is not fantastic. We did just at the end of last week go ahead and recruit Rhea Montero over here, who's got 97% natural marketability. Now, she's only a reserve driver currently, so her marketability doesn't feed into any of our rest of our system, but she has massive potential. She has the potential to be better than either one of our 2 drivers. Right now, I mean, we're paying her, but, you know, not a ton. It's hitting our budget a little bit, but the hope is that when Maritson's contract comes up, which is in 18 months, I think we might just let him go. Hopefully, Rhea has developed to the point where she's at least fairly decent. Even if she's not as good as Martson yet, even though she has the potential to be better, even if she's not as good as Martson yet, she's going to bring in so much more sponsorship money that it's going to be easily worthwhile. We'll be able to just make better cars. So that's going to be great. Max Porter is pretty good. He is rough on the tires. Holy crap, he's rough on the tires. But other than that, he is a pro. He's good marketability. He's got the first lap hero stuff too, which has worked out really well for us. Don't they get more skill if you let them drive practice? That's the thing I'm not sure about. We did confirm that she does develop skills every week regardless. What we might do is let her run in the practice. Now, her feedback is shit. But we might still have her go through practice on the off chance that it does increase her skill faster. It would make sense that it does. I don't know if that's the way the game works. If they don't drive, they don't improve. No, they do improve because she did improve. We've had her for 1 race. We did not run her at all in the race. She did improve. Now, did she improve as much as she would have if she had practice? I don't know. So, we are going to put her in practice now. Even though she's got terrible feedback. The feedback rate does affect the rate at which you level up the sort of your trim knowledge and your tire knowledge. So going with lower feedback is kind of poor. It also is worse for like the green bar, but we don't really care about that too much. Anyway, let's talk about the car over here. We are currently designing a gearbox. Now, that's interesting because I was going to say, I think what we want to do now next year, because I don't know if we're going to be able to put up a vote this year, but I think next year we'll be asked to put up a vote. It'll cost £1 million, but I think what we want to do is try to spec part the Gearbox, because it's our weakest part. It's fairly expensive, and it would be nice to do that, and then we could just focus on all the other parts. Of course, our engine is already a spec part in this league. Now, we do have a vote to start off with here. If I recall correctly, I believe we have sold our vote for this one. So we'll go into politics. Yeah, we have been bribed, so to vote in favor, which I don't think we can override or anything like that, so we'll do it. I actually am in favor of more tower compounds, because I think we can probably work that edge a little bit more. On the other hand, with the 2 softer compounds, maybe the AI is more likely to make mistakes. In the end, like, I was slightly for, but not that much. I probably would have just abstained to gain voting power, but we were offered $250,000 to vote for, which seems fine to me. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of sound. It's pretty quiet, but that's okay. Yeah, wet race next time, theoretically, and that should be a lot of fun. All right, so that's going to be a change for next year. So the Gearbox is about to finish up. And I think there's a very good... Oh, it's not done yet. What did it stop us for? I don't know. Oh! For other people's race. Oh, it's not going to be a change. It was rejected. Oh, okay. Well, a little unfortunate, because again, I can't decide if it actually is better for us or not. One of the things, since we have a mechanic who's really good on the medium tires, by having an extra dry compound, it increases the chance that medium tires, were an option in the race, which might have benefited this way, but I'm not going to cry. Okay, now the Gearbox is done. Okay. So what we're going to do, because I think we can use this Gearbox in this race, because all of the parts we were working on reliability, well, other than the front wing, are basically done. I'm curious, which actually, had I realized, I would have put the meter a little more for reliability, because we were half and halving it. But if I throw the Gearbox in here and go all the way, yes, it's still going to be done, which is great. I'll throw the front wing. Yes, it's still going to be done. There are no other parts that we are going to be using for this race that are very low. So what we're going to do is the other parts we'll use, I may as well throw in here just to try to get them to hit 100%. Well, you're already 100, but there's like, I think it's not quite rounded there. But anyway, we'll do that. Mostly, it's all going to go towards this Gearbox, so that's going to be okay. It's still going to be 8 days before the race, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back to, 1 hour before the race. That way we get as much performance in here as we possibly can, so that's going to be okay. Hey, Quill, do you have the sim building? I thought that without that building, there was no passive skill gain. That might be it. We do have the sim building. Now, I don't remember it saying anything like that. Because the sim building improves your rear wing, gives drivers a chance to improve adaptability and their improvement rates. Because everything has got some sort of skill rate attached to it. So I don't know if you need the sim building or not, but we do have it. Only level 1. We can't push our buildings any more than this. We still have lots of scouting going on. We're gonna go ahead and continue. Oh no! Am I gonna start a new part? We only have £4 million. Now we're gonna get some money from sponsors and things as the season goes on, but oof, that's starting to be expensive. We've got 2 decent parts for brakes. We could maybe do another wing. We could do another Gearbox. I'm really hoping to spec part the Gearbox. I'm thinking we do another front wing, because we can, if we just build another front wing that's the same as the last one we did, it's a pretty big advantage. And the front wing's a little cheap. One of the things we're going to have to do with, for example, with the Gearbox, was it potentially that we were going to do like a super illegal part? I guess we don't have super illegal for the Gearbox either. How does the front wing look? Because at some point at the end of right at the end of the season, we'd kind of like to build some super illegal parts so that and not use them, but that way we can carry forward their performance for the next season. We can counter a risk level, but like for $1 million, like that seems, and that means not improving it here. So there's not a lot of great stuff over here. Their wings are a little awkward. Suppose we could do something like this. Slightly better than the last wing we did. This is risky. That's pointless. This is only on wets and inters, which is very, like... I mean, what we could do is you could stack, like, wets and inters. We could have a wing that we only use for wet races, but that's a lot of development for something we're not going to use all the time. So this is going to take a long time because of all the extra day edition stuff over here, but this is probably effectively the best wing we can make without doing anything else. I am concerned about the money because our money is going down per race. Now, it gets offset whenever we refresh a new sponsor because we get upfront payments. And if we win if we achieve a sponsor bonus. I think I might not design this right away. Or we could just do an illegal, but maybe I might wait a tiny bit just to confirm that we're going to have enough to end the season. And we might just save a little bit to make sure we've got a margin, and then just build some illegal parts for right at the end. We may not be able to really develop anything else for the to use this actual season. Yeah, 0 payout at the end of the race, and then equal payout at the end of the season. Which I thought the equal payout at the end of the season was going to be really good for us, because I assumed we were going to do very poorly, and it turns out maybe we would like a performance-based payoff. But, you know. When your sponsorship run out, I'm not sure. Also, I don't remember if we did the pit crew at the end of last season, or if I said I would do, or sorry, last episode, or if I said I would do it here. Okay, I think I have rotated these guys. Yeah, I did rotate them after the stream. Okay. All right, let's go to the Japan. Oh, I do get to choose a vote this season. Now I'm happy I saved money. Guys, we are going to put up, so this vote is going to come up, it's going to come up next year. Or does it come up? Maybe it comes up, the vote comes up this year, and then it's a change for next year. We are going to try to spec part gearboxes, which is going to save us huge amounts of money, and it's the area of the car we're the furthest behind on. Interesting. Oh, full simultaneous. That is really interesting. Merit payments. We could start implementing merit payments, but no, I think the best bet is to spec part the gearbox. For removing all spec part. The thing is, when we're still kind of tight on money. This is more important than the lowest league. But as we're still developing, we would like... Here's the reason we want a spec part. Because we want our money... Because this is a temporary league, right? We're not in the final league yet. We're in a temporary league. So rather than spend money on parts that are effectively going to become obsolete as we jump from league to league, we'd like to spend parts on our headquarters as much as possible. Because those are forever. So, we're going to propose that gearboxes become spec. A lot of people might vote against it, but we have some voting power saved up. This is one of the things that helped us succeed a lot last season, or previous league, is that. Sponsors are still going, so we got a couple more races on Ishikawa Malt Whiskey before that refreshes. So we're not going to get a cash injection again for a little bit. Sep Oil is not even going to refresh until next year. So, reliability idle, but it moved all the dudes over. Okay, that's going to be fine. They haven't quite hit... See how this one actually grays out when it's truly 100%? We'll do that, but we are going to... I'm just going to slide this all over to performance over here. Although it's not really going to be done before the race anyway. We have to wait a year to be saved by big oil again. Yeah. So, again, we're going to do the thing where we take Van Moose over here. Especially in a wet race. So it's interesting. Practice and qualifying is going to be in the dry. Race, it says rainy. It doesn't say heavy rain, just rainy. So it's probably going to be more intermediates and things like that, and maybe opportunities for the softer compounds. So it's a 33 lap race. I'm going to try to remember that. Go 33, make some notes, because that's going to be really relevant when we look at our tires. We're also going to be talking about fuel loads here, and I'm going to be bringing up an interesting discussion that was on the Quill 18 subreddit the other day. So we're going to talk about that. We do have some parts to be fatted. Let's fat some parts onto our car. Those two are fine. Those two are fine. There you go. This new front wing. Now, Jesper has been doing better in the series. So we could give him the better part and hope he keeps, crushing it that way. It's sort of 6 and 1 half done the other, because Max actually got the first points, and then it went to Maritson. But I don't know. You've been performing better lately, so, what have you done for me lately? There you go. Well, maybe I'll give Porter the better gearbox, just to balance it out. Not that it's very different in between. Oh! I didn't realize, yeah, we're still running an 81% reliability gearbox. That's true. Okay, we'll have to work on one. I think this one here is the higher top performance. If we can bring its performance up to 498, maybe we'll improve its reliability as well. So we got those, we got those, we got those. All right. Who's Jesper? I don't know Mortson. Yeah, I know. Usually just call him Martson. All right. Let's go. Any plan of when Maritson will be replaced? So he's got 18 months left on his contract, which might actually bring him all the way to the end of next season. Now, just because he's still under contract doesn't mean we can't swap the reserve driver with him. So mostly it's going to come down to if our reserve driver gets close enough in skill to Maritson, we might swap her in right before some sponsors start to expire. Yelver tons of fun. If you go back to watch the first racing weekend, well, that was very exciting with the trains and stuff. This is actually a very jaunty track. They really went all out in designing this one. If you watch the first YouTube video of this 5th season, we do the qualifying minigame in there. So, what we'll do is we'll pick Martin and then Rhea over here. Martin has, sorry, no, they have exactly the same feedback, so it doesn't matter. Oops. But I'll bring in Rhea Montero here to see if maybe she'll gain more XP. It'll be hard to tell. I don't know how we can really compare. I guess we went back to the last video and saw how many points she gained in each category, and then compared how many points she gains in each category this time. Maybe we could see and compare how much it is. Weight stripping we will probably do. Car setup. Okay, so now that's interesting. Medium tires are available, and that's really good news for... Ooh. This must be basing the numbers on Maritson, right? 13 to 15. Yes, because 6 smoothness. Oh, she does have 18 smoothness, but Maritson has really high smoothness as well. I don't know if he has 18, but maybe he has actually he might have 18. She's got the same smoothness. Excellent. Okay, that makes the math way easier, because I was all of a sudden going to say, hold on, if we can't get accurate counts over here, we're going to have a hard time. Now, this is a little bit annoying, because it's a 33-lap race. The mediums will last 13 to 15, which means they won't quite last. However, Maritson does have a mechanic that reduces medium tire wear. Do we want to try to one-stop Maritson? Oh, it's going to rain. It's going to rain. It's going to rain, guys. It's moot. Could still maybe happen, depending on how it goes. But it's gonna rain. I mean, theoretically, could you imagine if we did like one full stint on intermediates, one full stint on mediums? How sweet that would be. Or if we just double up on intermediates, which is still possible with Martson. It's tight. I mean, he would really have to be on conserve. I think we're gonna have to assume at least a 2-stopper because the rain's probably gonna start and stop. Probably there's gonna be some mix. I think it still makes sense. I'm trying to decide what tire to practice on so that we get the edge, but it may not matter. The thing is, Max Porter is going to take his double pit stop hero boost of awesome stuff. And I suspect because of the rain situation, Martin is also, he's also got one thing to reduce pit stop times, and then the other thing maybe we'll just end up taking like race trim or something like that. So I don't think we need to care about what tires you practice on because I don't think we're going to need tire expertise because I don't think we're going to use it. So we'll just assume we practice on mediums. We can leave, you know, they'll probably go through 2 softs during qualifying, and that'll give us a good mix of tires for the thing. This track is curvy AF. Like, there's sort of the pit straight over here. Even it doesn't look that long to me. I mean, that's hardly a straight. It's definitely a track that is all corners. This track is like 95% corners. And every now and again, you get to step on the loud pedal. So I'm going to assume we're going to be on a high end of downforce. Can we, here we go. We can see from over here. Yeah, I mean, so definitely on the car here, the downforce is definitely going to have to be quite extreme. For the handling, I mean, it's going to be somewhere in sort of this green zone over here. For the speed bounds, I don't believe it's going to be weighted top speed. It's definitely going to be at the lower end. Although, assuming what people have said that the sweet spot for both cars is always within 10% of each other, and so you can tell from the green area. So it's not going to be this low down. So I'm going to assume with Porter's car, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep his downforce where it is because it can only move to the left, so that's going to be fine. For the handling, probably is going to be fairly similar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten up the speed balance somewhere like here, and if it turns out to be wrong, almost certainly we're moving to the right. Which does feel a little weird to me, because it feels like I would really assume the acceleration would be way down here, but what do I know, right? So I think Max Porter will do something like that. And here for the speed bounds, I'm definitely going to... So first of all, tons more downforce. We're going to go and bring you all the way down to the acceleration, so at least we know we're going to go to the right at that point. Now, if we look at where they are... Yeah, the handling could be... It's probably to the right on both of these, so I think that's going to be okay. All right, I think I'm fine with this initial setup. I'll wait until... I mean, I don't know if it matters when we do the weight stripping. I'm not sure that it does. So the crucial parts I'm going to bring down to 90. And the non-crucial parts I'm going to bring down to 80. I don't really feel comfortable going much lower than that. I mean, maybe we could, for the non-crucials, maybe we could really work them more than that. Maybe we could do like, maybe we could do 75s and 85s, but I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we're hoping to train Rhea here, and we're hoping she gets a little bit more XP this way. Okay, send out. Race trims, yeah, that's fine. Go, go, go. And then Porter, race trim, yep, fine. Go, go, go. Although, maybe we do want the quali trim. Because it's only Maritson that will use race trim. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to have them do these stints in quality trims instead. Oh, hitting the limiter, so you need more acceleration. Well, we got 89% right away, which isn't bad. We got excellent in handling. Okay, downforce, we don't really know exactly where we're going. I'm going to add a scooch more downforce, and we'll see what that does. And then I'll just bring the speed balance over here. It's okay. It's not even good, so maybe a little further this way. I think that's going to be okay. And yeah, we're going to do quali stints instead. Quali trims. And get that knowledge. And yeah, I guess we could do softs just to get the full knowledge for the qualifying. if it uses the that info, which it might. Okay, downforce. We're definitely going to want some more. Not too much, because it's already good. And speed balance, you're going to want longer. And I'm going to assume you want a little bit more oversteer. Yeah, I'll change the tires to soft, with the idea that we can use that trim for qualifying. Okay. Ooh, okay. That went really fast. Overshot it a little bit. Need for Speed Porsche unlocked. Heard you get better results if you do the qualifying, just put it on auto. Is that true? Oh, okay, because you can hit auto when you're in the qualifying? Maybe I'll just do that. Plus, then we get to watch it. Maybe it's okay. All right, we're at 97%. The downforce was great there. It's still great. Maybe I'll bring the downforce down one notch in between the two greats. But, one more notch, maybe. There you go. In between the two greats. It did tweak these slightly, but we're going to be fine. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to put you on the softs. I'm going to tell you to qualifying, and then just stay out as long as you can. Probably they'll have to come in and refuel for their qualifying stints before the end of this, but that's going to be okay. You stay out, and we're going to be fine that way. We hit excellent downforce, which is great, because that's the one we never have to tweak in. We're only 91% overall with Max over here. His handling was really... Oh, his handling's got to be quite a bit stiffer, in fact. Okay. So we were good. We're great. Actually, we'll leave it here and we'll see what that ends up with over there. And for you, yeah, I'll get Max Porter to come back in right away because he still needs a little bit of work. We'll get you to come in, and that's going to be okay. He's stuck behind a car, but I don't think that matters. Purple all the things. Purple all the things. Purple all the things. Boop, boop, boop. 99%. Okay, sounds good to me. Let's go qualifying trim, 3 laps. Stay on this tire, that's fine, and send out. Oh, and yeah, no, we're not going to bring you in. That's going to be okay. We'll try to get some soft and some qualifying trim information, and that's it. I mean, we're just letting them build up this knowledge. Now, here's the part where the fact that Ria Montera has pretty poor feedback is going to hurt, because it doesn't generate as much as this. Although Porter's got decent amounts, so that's going to be fine, too. Montero is on her in-lap now. Because, you know, low fuel. She comes. Oh, we did actually lose the excellent on the, Great. So we still don't know where the great downforce is. Or, sorry, the excellent downforce. But we know that excellent speed balance was slightly to the left. That's going to be a little too much. Maybe what I'll do is I'll just, you know what? We'll just use this setup again. It's going to be fine. Qualifying. 3. Stay on these soft tires. If they hit 0, it's fine. Okay. His stints are going to keep slowing down because he's burning through his tires. But that's going to be fine. Go on out again. Let's see if we can get to level 2. Oh, we are level 2 qualifying. Well, maybe we're at level 3. Because if we can get maxed out... oh, no, we're 0 time. Never mind. So it's going to be level 2 of each. And hopefully that's going to help with the qualifying. Okay. Right, there's an auto mode once we get in. Okay. I suppose by taking the qualifying and then going auto, we can babysit the tires and make sure they're using the right ones for whatever. But yeah, we're going to go soft tires, qualifying trim. I mean, it's the only thing we're allowed to use here. Same thing, da-da-da-da-da. We don't need to use light-footed at all. That's going to be fine. Let's take a look over here. We are running one of the 99% setups. We're going to go out on softs, which is okay. Over here, we're running a 97% and on softs, and that's okay too. We've got our stripping done. Let's go. So, all right, we'll take qualifying. I'm going to give them a little bit of fresh air between each other. So they don't hold each other up. All right. Now, oh, there we go, auto. All right, I'll just turn the auto on. Because trying to manage this is annoying. So, trying to get the tire temp and the brake temp where they're supposed to be by speeding up and slowing down and managing that. They're both overheating their brakes. Their tires are good. There you go. Hot lap has started. Purple. I mean, we were some of the first ones out, so it makes sense. Yeah, then down to green. Okay, Smith is the person who's crushing it in this series. And is doing really good. Oh, now Hugh, double purpling. Go, and then they're going to bring in. So they do their out lap, they do their hot lap, then they do the in. I'll put them out one more time. I'll put them on a second set of softs. Wait till the end of the session for more grip. Oh, that's true, because the grip does increase as the session goes. Now, I wonder how long we've got. I think you've got to start your hot lap before it goes to 0, IRL. It's taking us just over a minute to do a lap. Let's put them out at like 3 minutes or something. Is it getting gray? No, just a little overcast. All right, it'll take a second to do a tire change. I mean, not long, but let's give that a try. 130 at the latest. Then I think that would make sense. All right. 14th, 15th. I mean, it's better than last time. Add 30 seconds before first place time to get the end of session lap. That's how I run. It makes a lot of sense. Okay, Fox on pole. Smith only a third. Good for us, generally speaking. Yeah, because that's not... Fox isn't on the championship leading team either. Okay. So, yeah, our bonuses, because there's a qualification, our sponsor bonuses get split into two sections, which is a little bit unfortunate. So right now, looks like... So there is some rain to be predicted starting around lap 6 or 7, depending on exactly where these are cut. We can definitely do... So, I mean, by 8, we'll probably start... Yeah, so maybe by the end of sort of 7th, start of 8, there'll be a little dampness on the track. 8's probably going to be fine. Depending on how hard it's raining, lap maybe 9, maybe 10 will want inters. And then it really depends on how long it keeps raining. So that's what I'm thinking. First of all, we're going to go Pit Stop Guru, Pit Stop Legend on Max Porter. And we'll go Pit Stop Legend. Oh yeah, I didn't get the race trim. With intermittent rain, we're probably going to do shorter stints, so soft makes a little bit more sense. I think we soft. Which, and starting on soft certainly makes a lot of sense. With Max, 7 to 8 laps. So, I mean, he's going to be pitting first for tires. He'll pit... It'll be a little early for Max, to be honest. Because he's going to be pitting... probably before there's actual wetness on the track. So he'd have to pit for inters and do a couple of inter laps in the dry, which would be unoptimal. I'm actually wondering about starting Max on the mediums. I know that's not as good, but I think it might line up better for the timing. We're going to mess with the fueling in just a second. But if I go over to Martson, now Martson, because he's smoother, 9 to 11 laps on the softs is going to be much better. Plus, he does have the soft tire, like the 10% soft tire boost. So I think that'll line up really nicely for us to try to figure out what the hell the weather is doing. So yeah, Max on mediums, Jesper on softs, I think is exactly right. Now, let's talk about fuel. So every time we do this, some people are like, well, fuel less. And every time I said, no, we talked about it on Discord, we did the math, and it turns out the full fuel is optimal. you can now, I will say, I should drop a link maybe to the discussion, or if you go to the Quill18 subreddit, there was an excellent post with some graphs and some science being made by Royal Hawk, showing you something that we do know, although it was interesting to see it in graph form, and it reopened the conversation. The fact of the matter is, because it takes, every load of fuel slows you down by 0.125 seconds, which is an eighth of a second, and it takes a second to fuel a lap of fuel during a pit stop. It means that anytime you're carrying around fuel for more than 8 laps, well, it's slightly more than 8 laps because there's this 3-second extra penalty. There's a little bit of extra overhead. What if there's a mistake? If you're running on, if you're running safer, then it adds overhead. If you're running more aggressive pit strategy, there's an extra chance of a mistake because it's an extra step happening. So in practice, let's say something, if you're going to carry a tank of fuel or a lap of fuel for longer than 10 laps, let's say, then it's better, you save more time by refueling. If you know exactly how long all your stints are going to be, and you know exactly what engine mode you're going to use and what your actual fuel burn is going to be, you do save time overall by using the minimal fuel possible and then actually refueling every single pit stop. Unfortunately, because of all those extra variables and a lot of unknowns, that you don't know the stint length. And the most important thing, because of the delays, is you have to be optimal on tires. If ever you're outside of optimal tire situation, either because they've worn too much or you're on the wrong weather tire or whatever, you'll lose way more, to the point where it doesn't matter what you did with your fuel. Tires are the king, which means I'm always going to fuel more than I have to, because I never want to have to pit because I find myself short on fuel. I only ever want to pit when it's time to swap tires. That being said, I don't actually need 80% of a set of fuel in here. If I know for sure that Martin is going to be pitting somewhere around lap 8, 9, 10-ish, depending on the weather and exactly what the tire situation is. Remember, we're going to be pushing harder at the start probably to be competitive, so we might be pitting on lap 8 with a soft still, which is going to be a little shy. So we're going to want that. Now, I definitely don't want to run low on fuel, and keep in mind we're going to be running on red and then probably orange. In fact, ideally we'll probably be running orange mode the entire time, which burns 1.1 lap of fuel per lap. And on red we burn 1.3. No, it's 1.4, I think, for fuel. I think tires are 1, anyway. Something like that. So I'm going to want at least, I'm going to say at least 12 laps worth of fuel to be safe. Now, ideally I would like to only refuel one time, because minimizing risk with various things. But maybe it makes sense to do this. So the ratios are bad. So on red engine mode, so the amount of fuel you burn compared to your speed gain is not as good. You burn way more fuel than your speed gain. However, and this is a place where I'm feeling very confident about the math. Despite the fact that if you run on red engine mode, you're going to need to refuel for more, it's worth it. If you could run on red engine the entire race, you just would. The problem is your engine would die before that would happen. But mathematically, it works out. You want to run on the highest possible engine mode. So what it means, at some point, since we can go with 27 laps worth of fuel, there's 33 laps. That's a 6-lap deficit, except probably, let's say something like we'll burn 40 laps worth of fuel. So 13 laps is really what we're going to have to add to our car at some point. So, that's sort of where we want to be. So I don't know. I'm not sure what our sweet spot with all this is. Let's assume, let's underfuel for the first stint, and then maybe we'll completely fuel at that point. Actually, that won't be 13. So no matter what with this, we'd be fueling twice if I do this, which is probably fine. Or if I did something like 14, then really we'd only have to fuel once, but I'd be carrying extra fuel around sometimes. So I don't know where the sweet spot is. We've got back and forth. Oh yeah, Royal Hawk, yeah. To work on the graph, you run some longer, more varied race. Usually it's close. Big thing is never fill your full tank during a stop. It's okay to start full, but filling up again during the race for more than one tire change isn't worth it. Yeah, so and that's what I thought we'd figure. Like, a lot of times starting completely full is fine. I'm going to trim back a little. Maybe I won't go quite so crazy. I'll do something like 20 laps, and then we'll find one good opportunity to fill up for whatever is missing for the rest of the race. Although, see, this is tricky because I probably can't do 2 stints here, right? So what this means is if I underfuel, it means on the very first stint we do, if I only want to fill up once, we want to find the perfect sweet spot for refilling, and that's hard. Whereas if I fill up completely at the start of the race, whenever I do my final stop, then I have a really good idea of what's left, because I'm almost certainly running only orange, so I can do a pretty accurate count of fuel, which is one of the reasons we tend to end races at like 0.02 fuel, which is what we want. We don't want to end the race with too much fuel, or God forbid, too little. If we do a full one of those, let's call that 14. Let's call this 8, so that's 22 laps. Plus more aggressive engine modes. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Like, it's actually... this is not really 2 stops, especially with Maritson, who's going to go really long. I think on Porter, we can probably go a lot shorter. F it. I'm going to full fuel Maritson. He's not going to fuel at all during the first stop. And then he'll fuel during the second one, and that'll probably be it for the end. Yeah, that's going to be okay. But I think with Porter, because we know he's going to have to do 2 stops fairly quickly. He's going to do this for mediums, and then he's going to run intermediates. So let's call this 10 laps, if he even gets there. And let's call this, maybe it might be 12, so it's 22 laps with stints. And he's going to burn a little bit more, but he probably won't last that long. I think we can go and underfuel Porter a little bit, and I think it's going to be okay. It's possible we'll be a little fuel limited for our second stop, but maybe we'll just burn our tires a little bit more. It'll be pretty much bang on. This will also tie in nicely with his first lap hero stuff, because he's going to pass a ton of people at the start, and so this will help him with that just a scooch. All right, we're going to go something like that. But you see what I mean? Like, it's one of these things where if we assume all cars are spheres in a vacuum, we know, we can find like sweet spots, but then in practice you're like, shit, we have to allow for all these margins, and then if you allow for all these margins, the time savings basically go away, but you're left with a huge amount of risk. I think this is fine though, and luckily Max is starting in front of Maritson, which is good. He is starting on a worse tire, which is less than ideal, but I think his stats are still going to mean he's going to be pushing ahead of Maritson, but we'll see. All right. Here we go. Still don't think we have a weather center, which would be nice to build, but we don't have the money for it right now. Lights off and away we go. Porter with an insanely good start, and Maritson with possibly an insanely bad start. Unfortunately, Porter got held up. He took off with so much speed, but he didn't get anything out of it because he's held up by the guy in front of him. He has made up a few places over now. Oh, huge passes on the inside, followed by the outside of those pairs of turns. I don't know if you'd properly call that a chicane or not, but holy cow. Maritson in 9th place, and just like that, Porter in 9th place, purpling the first sector. Maritson down in the far back. What is the temperatures? 29 degrees, going to drop a little cloudy. The clouds are going to help with the track temperature, but overall it is going to be a hot day. I fully expect these tire temps to go up pretty aggressively as we go. Some people are already conserving their tires a little bit, which is interesting. Now, we do have to make sure that Max doesn't chew up his tires completely, because, well, he is on the mediums, which is going to help a little bit. But we're really going to want as much information as possible, and we really want to pit them at the last possible second before it gets too bad. We don't want to leave too much tire on the tire, but we also don't want to run out of tire. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how it works out. Maritson's finally making up a few places and fighting for 18th. There he goes into 18th, which is great to see. Porter, again, he's got that first lap hero, which is one of the reasons he takes off so well. Currently stuck behind 9th place. He's right on him. In fact, did Maritson just pass again? No, I thought it said 0 for a second there with 17th, but he must have gotten held up a little bit. Max Porter losing a few places, and I think that's fairly understood. The tires are definitely getting hot. I'm going to pull them both back all the way to neutral on the tire here, because the heat is definitely going to start to be a thing. And we'd like to stretch the tires for right before the rain starts to hit. And I think we do need that a little bit. You don't want to see what happened in the F1 race yesterday? Yeah, I'm trying to avoid too many overt spoilers in case anyone's still just got a PVR, but holy crap. Again, 50 laps of boring, and then the last 2 laps of, wow, that is, I've never seen that before. Tire temps, are they still going up on the softs? They might be on Maritson. The softs are going to be a little bit more sensitive to the temperature. Engine condition still 100% on both cars, so we're going to keep running in red. As you can see, everyone else is as well. Keep in mind, Porter, we did pull a little bit of fuel out of his tank over here, so that could come to bite us in the butt a wee bit. Porter's pace is very good here. Oh, that's right. Sorry, different games. I keep having to move the camera a little bit. I forgot to do it before we started today. Yeah, can't cover up the info. So we're at 60%-ish for both. Porter's tires are actually lasting a little bit longer, because of course they are mediums. I think they're still getting hot. Now, we're going to have to pit one before the other, so we actually don't want their tires to be in sync. In theory, because again, we'd be leaving some rubber out there, then that would be a waste. So we want one of them to effectively hit their sweet spot about 1 lap sooner. Now, I think that's still going to be Martin, although the heat is still a problem. And we're still going to want to stretch this a little bit. I think you're going to conserve. We might have to conserve with Porter a little bit, too. Let me go and do that a little bit right now. How is the weather prediction? Okay, it's not getting super wet super fast. Somewhere around lap 8 or lap 9, depending on exactly some of these visuals. Maybe lap 10 is really when we're going to want the intermediates. If we can hold one of our drivers, if we can pit on lap 9 and lap 10 for inters, I think that might be perfect. We'll see. Am I winning? Not really, because we've actually fallen from where we started. Made a mistake on that corner. Cut corner? Under investigation? Martin? No action taken. Okay. No penalty, but it still effed up his race pretty dramatically here. So, as per usual, our cars are in a current situation where we are never going to win on pure pace here. We're sort of always going to get outdriven, which is one of the reasons we qualify so poorly. And we hope to win on superior strategy. Now, a lot of people did start on the actual softs, which, I mean, would have been preferred, except Porter just is too rough on his tires. He couldn't do it. So he had to start on medium. There wasn't much of an option over there. You're struggling to over... You're just behind. I can't really give you any more go juice in the tires, unfortunately. Condition, okay, we have lost 10%. 10% on Martin's engine. That is, there's a bit of a drop-off there. I don't want to bring down his engine mode yet, though. I'll probably let them run red until 80%, and then I'll pull them back to orange, and then hope we can do orange for the rest of the race. That, I think, is the goal. So, yeah, I was hoping to do a little bit better than this, because usually we do a little bit better a little sooner, but... Oy, 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 oy. Yeah, we got black and white flag as a warning. Don't do that again! Well, actually, I don't know if we got black and white flagged at all. Usually it's when you exceed track limits like 3 times or whatever, then they give you the black and white flag, and do it again, then you get in big trouble. I mean, we are fighting, like, pretty aggressively, but yeah, I can't... You've got no more temp available over here. Martin pretty soon is probably going to complain about hitting the wall. There is the start of the rain. Okay, that's going to be fine. Where's the... You come that way and then that way. Do I want to pit Martin this lap? No, I think next lap... Okay, next lap we're going to pit Martin. Apparently, my Steam friends, I'm logged in. Offline. Thank you. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Lots of complaining over here. So I think that's going to work out for Porter to stay out slightly longer. So there's this. What I'm going to do, because I'm going to be hitting the lowest performance band on these tires any second now anyway. I'll put you up to neutral, at least. If we, just gain a tenth of a second here. There's a little bit of spray. Yeah, I think this is going to work out well. Okay, you go ahead. Just go ahead, red tire. You'll overheat, and you'll hit your lowest performance band, but that's going to be fine. So, Martin, we are going to go to inters for sure. Inters are going to be perfect over here. Pit for intermediates. The intermediates are going to last 14 to 16 laps. We've got 16 laps worth of fuel. I'm not going to fuel this time. It's going to be fine. Our parts are going to be okay. And yeah, we can run this safe and still... I mean, technically it does add the 0.07. I don't know how the rounding works for this. Like, this to me says a total of 3.1 seconds of pit time. Versus 2.4. Well, I mean, I might be pitting a little early for the rain, but I'm not pitting too early for the tire condition on Martin. Martin's about to lose all his tire performance regardless. Now, here's the interesting thing. What I could do, pit for inters now, do a full refueling at this point. Theoretically, that might even... Let me do this officially. So that would give us 27 laps worth of fuel. There'd be 25 laps left. We may not have to refuel again. This would delay... This pit stop would take a little bit longer, but that just means it'll have slightly longer for a little bit more water hit the track and make it better for our intermediates. That actually might be the sweeter way to go. Now here, the pit stop time is definitely going to make a difference. I know it's timings were kind of weird, but we'll save 3 seconds by going to balance. We could save another 2 seconds by going to fast. I'm just going to go to balanced, I think, for this one. Not worth it. You will have to switch tires anyway. Yes. Oh, you might not be up to date. It turns out when you're refueling, so it's 1 second per lap of fuel we add back in, except doing any fueling has a 3-second cost initially. So basically the first lap of fuel you put in is 4 seconds, which is one of the reasons I only want to refuel once. We're going to stop again, but I only want to refuel once. And I don't think it matters whether I do it now or later. The advantage of doing it now, it might optimize the amount of wetness on the track a little bit. The advantage of doing it later is I'd probably add a couple more laps of fuel in there so I could run a little bit more aggressively, but it's about the same. If you refuel now, it'd be heavier for longer. You're right. You're right. You know what? Yeah, you're right. This way we can run lighter for it a bit longer. It does mean we'll be a little bit dicier with the tires, but it's going to be okay. I'll just go balanced, I guess, or over here. It's going to be okay. So pitting for intermediates with no refueling. I mean, you know what? By the time he actually gets in the pit, the wetness is going to be pretty damn close anyway. Might be a little on the dry side still, but it's going to be fine. I'm going to move the engine mode down to orange right away. We're actually catching up to Porter for some reason. Probably because of the more aggressive tire mode. I mean, it must have been. Still a little bit odd. All right, Porter, go ahead. Here, we'll bring your engine mode down a scooch. In fact, I think you might not have to refuel either. It's going to be a little tight. Let me drop you down to medium a sec here. Okay, if we pit now, you're going to go on to inters, 12 to 14 laps. You're going to have 12 laps left in there. It won't round up because we don't do any refueling. Probably on the lower end of 12. I think that basically we'll be out of tires and out of fuel at about the same time. So I think that's going to be okay. We don't know how long the rain is. We know that it looks like, okay, it's going to stop at around lap 16. So it does, the dampness definitely wears off here. So it's going to be, well, so it's only going to be about 7 laps worth of rain. So that's going to work out well. I guess we're going to push the tires pretty aggressively. Well, as aggressively as we can without them overheating. I think is going to be the thing with both drivers. Porter's going to only have, he's going to have 1 lap less to do on them, but he goes through his tires faster. So we'll just watch the temp, and we'll just pull back so that we're at the extreme high end of the temperature range here. And yeah, I don't want to push Porter's tires any more than this. Or sorry, engine any more than this. So I think Porter still had a few % left in his tires before hitting the bottommost band of the mediums. So I think we wasted a little bit of rubber there. But I think it's going to be all right. No action taken means no action during the race. You can still get penalty afterwards. Don't know for sure, though. Yeah, we got some weird results last time with that. Like, there was a, potential collision, no action taken, and after the race we were told something. I don't think it actually changed our position. It might have been like a 5-second penalty, it said. We weren't sure if it was a bug or not. I don't think it changed. Oh, shit. I didn't realize we'd already over-temped. Let me go all the way down to backup here just to get us out of the 100% tire range. And then we'll bring the temp back up as we get a little bit of space. That was an oops. One guy pitted and put on mediums. Partanen. Now, if he has really high adaptability, he might actually feel fine not being on the inters. Go to conserve and see what that does with our temp. And over here, let's go neutral. Actually, let's put them both on neutral. And just see if this little sliver of red disappears. Now, in real life, rain does cool the tires pretty quickly. It looks to me, I can't tell if it's changing or not. It might be fine. So I'm still running Porter on a more conservative engine setting here, just because he's a lot lighter on fuel. Or you know what? Because the rain situation anyway. So if the rain is So lap 16, maybe at lap 17, we're going to want to switch back to slicks. That's not very far away. You know what? Both you guys, run in the double red. You got condition left? A little tight, but it's going to be okay. Oh, I think these temps are still getting higher here with Martin. So we have to run these on conserve, not to overheat. Although, again, we don't need to run these for the full stint, so we can go and churn through them for the last couple of laps. We'll probably just go super aggro on these tire modes. Or maybe now while we're trying to pass. What you can do here, Martin. Double red. We'll go ahead and burn through the tire a little more aggressively, and then we'll pull back after. Get on the inside! Get in there! Yes! Let's hold him a little longer here through this corner. Make sure he's got the 13th place. Okay, now go down to conserve. Fresh softs. Wow. Again, they may have higher adaptability than us, but I don't know, man. So again, did we ever figure out what the pace here is? If this is compared to us, or compared to, like, the next person in front of us, or the other car, or what? Or the leader? And chance of more Democracy 4? Oh, 100%. There's going to be more Democracy 4. Yeah, don't worry about the fuel levels. You're going to be fine. Keep pushing like hell right now. We're going to want to pit them at slightly different times, though. Martin's got less tire, but more fuel. You got ahead of there, even on your conserve thing. Seven laps worth of fuel. Yeah, we're going to want to pit before then. Pace compared to... See, that's the thing, and chat's not sure. Compared to his last lap. No, compared to leader. It's like... We'd kind of like to know which one it is. I think it's probably last lap. It doesn't say here, because it just talks about sector time. Which is like, that's not what I'm mousing over. So I think this does mean we've slowed down since our last lap. Which makes sense, because we were right behind someone. Pack some more. So we're definitely gonna have to pit Martin first, because we're churning through his tire faster. Which is funny, because... Oh my god! Like, just trying to sneak through these cars here. Point 2.5. All right, no, I'm gonna back it up. I'm gonna back it up here. We've got whiskey and chocolate coming in, or fuel and tires fun. I'm gonna back it up just because I'm not sure fighting for that place is gonna give us that much. Just gonna wait until we see a little sliver. It looks like we can go back up to yellow. But definitely goes down on green. Goes down very slowly on green, goes up very slowly on yellow. We'll just try to save a little bit. Yeah, we're very close to the time where we can ditch the inters. You know what, then? I'd say you're both about a lap apart. Push, push, push. Burn the last of the inters off here. Don't leave any rubber behind. Once we pitted on non-inters are dropping, yeah. Alright, Martin, you're coming past the pit now. I'm going to pit you on the next lap. Yeah, that's looking perfect. Yeah, you're going through these tires like a fat guy through hot dogs. No, skinny people eat hot dogs better, eat faster. Everyone knows that. The belt of fat thing. Look up professional hot dog eating competitions. Okay, so Martin's going to get pitted here. Fuel. So there's going to be 16 laps remaining. So we're going to fuel ourselves up to... What's 10% more than 16? I mean, it's an extra 1.6. Let's say an extra 2. So let's say 18 laps of fuel. This will round up to 18, which is going to be perfect. That'll let us run on orange for the rest of the race, which is ideal. Now, it looks to me we can't... If we went on super conserve, Martin might be able to make his tire last until the end of the race. That does not sound like the ideal. In which case, do we do 2 more stops? I mean, the rain might come back for all we know. Do we do 2 stints on softs? I kind of feel like we have to. The rain might come back. The rain might come back, and there's no guarantee we can make this worse. I mean, if we run on conserve, but conserve is quite a lot slower. I think we have to do 2 stints on softs. Although, yeah, the thing is, conserving on mediums does make a certain amount of sense because tire temp is still a thing. Even on yellow, the temp goes up. We might just run this on green. Do we want to try... I think we want to try one-stopping Martin. Maybe we leave him out for one more lap on inters, just to make sure, and then we one-stop him on mediums. I think we're going to do that. You just went past the pits. And it's going to be a little rough. He's not going to have a lot of tire left. We back up right away to get out of the tire temp zone. Now I'm a little salty that we did this. And then Porter is going to have to also back up because I still want him to pit one lap later. Yeah, only top 6 get points, so we need to take some pretty crazy risks. I think the crazy risk here is do a one-stopper and see if we can make that work. A little unfortunate because, I mean, the other side of the crazy risk is be more aggressive with the stops. Out of curiosity, hold on. Because Porter definitely has to 2-stop for the rest of the race, right? 16 laps. I don't think he can do a two softs, but he could do a medium. He could do an aggressive medium followed by aggressive soft. He could do 2 ultra conservative softs, so 1 stop now for softs, and just be super conservative. Thing is, I don't want to pit them at the same time. What's their time to each other? Well, they're only 5 seconds apart, and since we're both of them have to refuel, so both of them have a long pit time. I can't double stack them. But he can do 2 laps like this. In 2 laps, he'll burn about 2.6 laps worth of fuel. So he can do 2 laps on overtake mode. That's fine. Maybe I'll pit him next. No, I gotta pit Martin next lap. So maybe I'll leave Porter out for 2. The problem is it means he's gonna be out on inters too long. I'm gonna pull in a Porter now. I will do a stint on mediums. Yeah, we're gonna pit Porter now. We're gonna put him on mediums. We'll just burn it hard. That's gonna have to be okay. And then we'll know at the end if we need to do a last stint on inters or if we can just do a lap on wets. I'm not going to want to refuel again, though, that's for sure. So if I do... This will round up to 17. I think I want 18 laps worth of fuel in there. That's going to have to be okay. Your park condition's fine. Yeah, we'll go fast over here. Okay. And so you can just keep attacking. Then that's going to be fine there, Porter, because this is your last lap on this. I actually might be able to finish the race doing everything on red. Well, except for the fueling mount. I mean, I could put more fuel in with Porter, but... Drop you to high now. Fix part for free time. The thing is, the parts are all, like, super good. And then I wouldn't want to go as fast, because it's an extra step that might have an error. Because I think it's per step. Yeah. Hold on a sec, dude. Yes, you're pitting. I guess I can plan you now since you're being a whiny punk. Yeah, so you're going to be doing mediums for the rest of the race, bud. So we're going to want, and add an extra 1.5. So again, call it sort of 17 laps worth of fuel. So this will be 17. This will let us run on orange for the entire race and a little bit of red thrown in. Double check, all the parts are fine. Yeah, it's 3-second difference. We're going to do this. So yeah, you're going to do mediums and we're going to try to we're going to try to make this the final stop for Martin. The cliff is at 0%, but the lowest performance band starts sooner than that, which is important to keep track of. Oh, okay. So Porter can be pretty aggressive. I mean, I guess we'll push for now. He's probably gonna have to back off a little bit, just not to overtemp too badly. Oh, you should be on attack right now, Martin, because you're clearly coming in here. Yeah, it's also not about the cliff, it's lack of water. Now, inters, I think, have at worst a 10-second penalty, although it's pretty bad with the lack of water. Yeah, so it's not about... So, the people are concerned about the cliff. It's not just the cliff. Because it is at 0% with inters. It's the lowest performance band, and the lack of water is killing our pace, which is what's happening here. So we'll just keep an eye on the temperature on Porter. We'll pull away at some point. We'll keep an eye on the weather. It's going to be dry at some... Oh, we did do a mistake during refueling. It cost us 3.2 seconds, or 3.3 seconds. But remember, by going from standard to fast pit stop, we saved 3 seconds. So this mistake was basically free, and a lot of times we don't get a mistake, so it's kind of nice. So you're going to run a conserve basically the entire race here. We might have to just put him up to yellow every now and again to stop him from hitting 0% temperature, but otherwise he's just going to try to conserve his tires and just go until the end. Fingers crossed. Everyone is pitted. Everyone on softs is going to have to make another stop. Martinen, who went on mediums throughout the rainy period and is still in third. Maybe that was the pro move, although he's got to stop again here. So we'll see. He'll probably put on another medium and then run till the end, but it depends. I'm not entirely sure what the AI strategy will be. You can see the temps getting pretty high up over here. But we know we're going to pit Porter one more time, so I'm actually not too worried about having him chew through his mediums like nuts. We might delay it a little bit, hitting the 100%, but then when it does, I'll probably just put it up to red and just be like, okay, just run the tires bald until it's time to bring you in. Okay, weather is still looking dry and sunny for the rest of the race so far. Engine mode Martin. Oh yeah, we want to be on orange here. And then we'll recalculate, we'll redo the math, but we should be okay on orange for the rest of the race. Oh, what happened? Did you get past? So 11th place here is running double yellow. He's on softs, although, yeah, he's about to hit the lowest performance band on softs. Which might means we could repass him. Let me just try to fight for a second here. So, because I don't want to have to overtake, because overtake's annoying. But he's going to lose his performance advantage here. Alright, stand attack. If we're hitting 100% temp anyway, stand attack for a little bit. You want one more pit left. Ideally, we'd like to pit you for softs. Depending on how much we've got to fight here, we may end up having to pit for another medium if we run out too quickly. Still looking bone dry out there, which is really good for Martin, because if it did start raining, well, we would just turn up his tire wear and be like, okay, I guess we're doing a second stop. It's fine. This guy here, once he hits about, with the softest tire in a race, it's going to be about 33% on his compound. Let me go to overtake mode for a little bit here with the engine. He's going to hit his lowest performance band, and he's going to lose 4 seconds a lap performance. I don't want to have to overtake him, so ideally, we'd like to hold him behind. Which seems to be the case, which is good. I'm hoping we're not actually sitting at 100% tire temp this whole time. It looked like it was going down on green, so I'm assuming we're sitting at like 99%. But it's possible the wear is still really high here. I'm going to go back to high engine mode here for a sec. It's less than half a second in behind here. 2. That's good. Okay, fuel temps are good. Here, they're still a little on the high side. We're still going through them, but actually, I think Porter has done what he's needed to do with the tires. We've got 10 laps left. We still have half his tire. Yeah, this, I think, is exactly where we wanted Porter. Now, the question is, can Martin make up some places? This has not been as crazy as a race as we were hoping. We were hoping for more chaos, because we really needed more chaos, if at all possible. But yeah, if we keep holding these guys up, it looks like we are going to get past there. Oh well. Super softs, or sorry, the softs are what? 7 to 9 laps. So really, we would really like to put them on with 7 laps remaining. Right now there's 9. Yeah, I'm going to keep running this on conserve. Martin could probably go on yellow. You're right. Let's put it on yellow and just watch the temp. Well, okay, he can go on yellow and still not over temp. We're worried about him not finishing the race. Because technically, I think there was like 1 extra lap to the race left than his tires said they would be able to handle. So that's the real reason we're running a conserve. It's less about the temperature management. Okay, let's put you to backup. Because I really want to make this stretch out a couple more laps. Now, on mediums, the cliff is 5%, although we will hit that lowest performance band, which is a big problem. But yeah, so lap 26, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 3 more. That would be 8 laps. That would be a little rough on the tire. Ideally, yeah, we really would like to wait a little bit. So we're going to just stretch this tire, the stint out a wee bit here. Or we just pit for mediums and just finish on mediums. Maybe that makes more sense. If you click pit, you can see how many laps the current tire has left. Oh shit, that is cool. Right, because it gives you the estimate based on what was left in that tire. And that's maybe more important with Maritson here, because he has 8 laps remaining if you were to pit, 7 to 9 laps on the medium. Yeah, I think he does actually have to go back on conserve. I'm really worried he's going to hit that lowest performance band, or worse, and really start to fall back. This is our first time after having to do a conservative tire strategy, really. Okay, he's talking about tire wear, so he's in the lowest performance band right now. So his tire can't get worse until he hits the cliff, and he's got 25% of that. I'm hoping, yeah, so he's about to pass the pits now. We're going to pit him on the next lap. And just to confirm, he's got 8 laps remaining, right? So he's got 9 laps of fuel, so everything's good there. Double check. Oh, 7 laps remaining. Oh, after he pits. Yes, that's correct. So he will be able to finish on softs. It'll be a little tire temp managey, but it should be okay. The parts are fine. The pit strategy, yeah, either way, it doesn't seem to change much. So we'll get safes because it's only the tires. So we'll do that. Burn this as much as possible, and then we'll probably put you on yellow for the softs, and then we'll just try to stop you from hitting the peak tire temp at that point, and that's probably going to be okay. You want us? Where's Cool Man? We need him. I know, right? Whereas Morrison is hoping to get some free overtakes here, but churning this tire hard. So hard. Okay, you're coming in. Switch to neutral. Done. Out. Martin's just going to pass. So the question is Porter going to at least lap Martin or not? I don't know. Is Martin going to gain more territory here as more people pit? I mean, I think the sponsor objective is pretty unlikely. Will this get us into a points position is a big question mark. Big question mark. We're gonna do some fuel math in a second as we pass by the start finish. This tire's degrading really fast. Really fast. Okay. So we're past there. We've got 5 laps remaining, right? Because the 29, the 0, and then the last 3. Yeah, we got 5 laps remaining. Fuel is exactly where we want it to be. Tire's going to be fine, I think. We pit and we get the preview. 4 to 6, 5, like, we'll hit the lowest performance band. But, you know, we're saving 20 seconds on another pit stop. Hopefully, that'll do it for us. And over here, temp's going up because it's on yellow, but that's kind of the idea. So Porter had to do the extra stop, which means he's going to have to do some overtaking. How's that going to work out for him? All right, there's one overtake. Working another. Oh, he's maybe losing. This guy's got some mechanical problems, maybe. Need these guys to all pit. Yeah, being stuck in traffic like this is terrible. This is really bad for Max. So mostly it's all on Martin here, who just got up to 7th. Because, oh, he actually legitimately overtook someone. Or no, it could have been a pit. I was going to say, because this guy still has tires. It may have been Deost, actually. Brakes are feeling strange. Yeah, deal with it. You're going to the end of the race with that, buddy. That's just the way it's going to have to be. Temps are good. Temps are really going to Martin, but I don't want to push his tire more because it's going to be tight enough as is. So we just went through the start-finish over here. So he's got 2 more laps remaining, right? Fuel is good. In fact, you can basically run the rest of the race on overtake mode with your fuel. Might have to just turn it down right at the end, because we're going to use about 1.3 laps per lap, so just slightly short, but that's okay. Tires, I'm going to put you up to neutral. I think that's okay. You're in your lowest performance band only now, but I think you're going to be fine. Martin, it looks to me like you might be able to do the overtake as well. Yeah, you're going to have enough fuel to finish the end like that. Tires are going to save you on yellow for now. 25%. Martin's tire. In before the front left just explodes and gives way. It's okay. I hear you can still win races that way. This guy's right on my ass. Zarat over here. He's on softs. He's about to hit the lowest performance band, which is worse for the soft than the mediums. He's actually having to do a little tire conservation. Oh, yeah, we just took off from him all of a sudden. He probably just hit the lowest performance band. His tires just gave out on him. Final lap, 18%. The fuel's good. I'm actually just going to go to high just to make sure. We're not going to hit the cliff of 5%, I think. We can just put that to push. That's going to be okay. You're on your final lap as well. We'll go orange. I'm going to go to attack mode for a sec here. Now, the cliff on the softs, the ultras is 20, supers are 15, softs are 10%. We have 28% to play with over here. Yeah, you can just finish on attack mode tires. That's going to be okay. It's going to go really fast because he's over temp. It's going to go real goddamn fast. Martin seems locked in for a 7th place. Porter might... No, comes in 10th. All right, so actually good for us given the car potential that we've got. Bad compared to actually what we've been doing, but what we've been doing has been we've been stealing finishes somehow. Stealing finishes. We could have gone for the 13th place sponsor objective, which would have net us, well, 10,000. So the 20,000 bonus, but half of it is for the qualifying, which we would not have gotten. We got an extra 100,000 bucks here. I say 10,000, I meant 100,000 bucks here, which would have been something, but I think it was worth risking it for more money. So there's that. So Martin's strategy did turn out to be superior to Porter's. You know, the 2-stopper instead of the 3. Not that Max had any option. Max had to stop 3 times. In fact, Martin maybe should have stopped 3 times, except I think it would have made things worse for us. Any free places? Yeah, so still 7th and 10th. See, it says time penalty 10 seconds. I don't think we actually got this, because we were not 10 seconds ahead of 8th place. I mean, I know it says 1.1 here, but even in the race, we weren't 10 seconds, or we weren't 11 seconds ahead of this guy. You tell Q won? Yeah, Q won the race. Unfortunately, Thornton Motorsports did better than us, both their cars, which means they're definitely staying ahead in the constructors. Molly Fox got a bonus point for pole position, actually 2 bonus points. And Cristiano D'Aosta over here got 2 bonus points for fastest lap, which was quite nice for them. No, we didn't do a 10-second stop and go.